So I'm walking around the Millbridge Village Camp Resort, and who do I run into? Mr. Steve Turtle.
Yes, he did.
Another YouTuber. Now, Steve is a work camper, so I have some questions for him. And my first question is, Steve, why did you decide to get into work camping, and would you recommend it to other people?
I'd recommend it for everybody if it's a fit, and it's got to be a fit because, you know, there's a lot of things that you got to consider when you plan on work camping. But I did it because I wanted to travel, and we knew we would not be able to afford to maintain our house and travel as much as we wanted to. So we sold the house just to cut our cost and just travel and work camp. And so far it's been really good, and we've basically worked at campgrounds.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty good for us.
Now, I'm a weekend warrior.
Yep.
But when I retire, I'm going to avoid winter by perhaps heading south. Are you and your wife considering, heading south and doing a 3-month stint down south, when it gets cold up here?
Yes. Our plan all along was to spend winter in the south and the summer in the north.
Yeah.
And to avoid the cold. Our first job, we ended up January in Missouri. It was cold.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well.
Then we worked the summer season, and then after the summer season, we left, went to Texas, and then we came back up here, and we took a summer job, and we worked the season, and then the owner said, well, would you mind staying the winter? And I was like, So I did. So we didn't, the second year, we didn't go south for the winter, and then we're here for this season, and next year, or this year, in October, I am definitely going south for the winter. So that is the original plan.
Yeah, that sounds good. Now, one of the things that I noticed with work camping when I looked at the sites based on your video, and I'll put a clip of that video right here for people to link to, is that the pricing or the payment varies. Like some parks, it's 10 hours or 20 hours just for your site. Other parks, they're going to pay you cash for hours you work plus give you a site. What are your thoughts on that? And is it because some are state or national parks and others are private, or how does that work?
There is a lot of differences. And state and national parks, they have a different set of rules that they apply to them. And some of the state jobs, they want you to work much more hours than what normally other campgrounds might. And I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah.
But most states will pay you like a minimum wage. So whatever that state's minimum wage is, that's what they'll pay. Yeah. Occasionally some campgrounds will pay a little more because they understand sometimes they're getting a
better
skilled
skill
laborer.
set. Yeah.
But most people will charge like a minimum wage. Now, they will charge hours, and it just depends on what value they put on their campsite.
Yeah.
Now, this particular campsite, we get paid for every hour that we work, plus we get our site for free.
Okay.
So we don't have to work any hours to pay for our site.
So the site's included.
Right. Everything's included, and we get an hourly wage. Now, that is like the premium of what you would expect. And then from there, you'll find people that will only pay you after you've paid for the site. So they'll say 9 or 10 hours. They'll say 9 or 10 hours goes to the site, and then everything else might be paid. Some will only give you work hours, and then that is just for your site, and there's no hours after that. So it just depends. It depends on the owner, and what he expects for his site. Now, there's a rule that what you do is you look on their website and you see what a monthly or daily rate is, and then you sort of calculate what the value of that is for yourself.
Right.
And then you go, okay, if you want 20 hours at your minimum wage, it's X, and that should equal or be less than what they advertise the site for, and that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
some people will say no, but you know, but the bottom line is you got to be comfortable with it. It might be a spot that you want to go that you've never been before, and you'll do anything to get there for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like the Florida Keys for me, for instance.
So, you know, you might go, oh yeah, I'll work 40 hours, no problem, because I want to be right there.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah, the Florida Keys, I mean, I love going down there. I had a big trip planned for June with my dad, who's a retired Marine colonel. So it was going to be the captain and colonel's excellent adventure.
Yes.
COVID wrecked my whole summer trip.
Yeah,
but I definitely am going to get back there. I have one final question for you, Steve. Right now you have a dragger, right? You're driving, you're towing a 25-footer.
Yep.
Any plans to trade that out for a fiver or a driver, or are you going to stick with a dragger?
I'm pretty sure before it's over with, if we stick with it, that I'll probably have about 5 different travel trailers or campers.
Yeah.
We're pulling a travel trailer right now, and with our lifestyle, the way that we work for a long period of time, I think we'll stay with a travel trailer.
Yeah.
We have looked at fifth wheels and we like them, but I don't know, for some reason I'm not sure of the trade-off of storage between the bed of my truck and under the RV.
Yeah.
So, but motorhomes probably not, because we spend so much time in one spot.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a waste to park that vehicle there for 6 months and not drive it.
Yeah, my issue has always been the size of the unit, and what I noticed is the larger the unit, the less access you have to state parks and national parks because of limitations on the size of the camper that you're using. So
absolutely,
I'm going to try to stay as small as I can for as long as I can, but who knows,
who knows?
The bug gets in us. Any final words of encouragement for beginning folks who are getting out there camping?
If they're just camping, if you're getting out, make sure that you learn all that you need to learn before you get out and camp. And remember that mistakes are okay, that we got to live from our mistakes, and that's part of the adventure. That's the fun of it all.
Yeah, and if they do like it, they can always advance to.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, I know a bunch of folks who ended up going full-time and then going back. You know, and those who had planned it and found the perfect house with this huge garage for their toys and decided, you know what, weekend warrior's not so bad.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
It is true. Everybody has their own thing, and I think you just have to find your thing and make it work for you.
All right, we really appreciate Steve answering those questions for us, and I'll link his channel in here so you can see all the great information he gives you, especially if you're thinking about becoming a work camper. His channel's the channel to go to. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Now go have some fun out there.